All right, welcome back to Black Cloud Trivia Night. This is Art, and we are continuing our Lord of the Rings Online book quest run. This is episode, I think, 55, which is hard to believe, but here we are. Now, if you remember last time, we did a bunch of stuff with Osgiliath. It was, I think, Volume 4, Book 4. I think we're now into Volume 5. Volume 4, Book 5. Let's just recap the quest. Enter the city stables of Minas Tirith. Not Osgiliath, Minas Tirith. In the first circle. The city stables are in the first circle. Because what we need to do is we need to head out of town, and I think we're heading to like the small villages in the area. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be doing. I just remember that we're supposed to be like getting out of town and I think getting in contact with people. And remember last time I was probably saying something to the effect of I'm glad to be getting out of Minas Tirith, which I feel terrible saying. I genuinely feel terrible saying it, but I have not enjoyed what I've done so far in Minas Tirith. I don't enjoy navigating it. I didn't enjoy the Battle of Minas Tirith. I found it, I know I say this a lot. Like, I know it's like bolted on mechanics. Bolted on is too strong. I hope people understand what I'm trying to say. It's trying to get the MMO to do something that MMOs don't do to sort of vary up the gameplay. I wish it had been more like when they did the Battle of Helm's Deep, where they gave you that narrative option. Because that I thought was truly amazing. I had such a good time with that. And then the whole thing was just a vision inside a Palantir, which I was just like, okay, which is a personal beef. I really don't like that storytelling technique where it was all just a dream. I appreciated what they were trying to do because like it started to get weird, right? Like all of a sudden, like, you know, Gandalf dies. You're like, okay, something's up. That's not supposed to happen. But at the end of the day, I was just like, Getting performance now in the 30 frame rate range. I don't know if there's something wrong with my system.
How may I help you, friend?
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go to the main gate. Anyway, so I have to tell you, I don't know if it's obvious from the tone of my voice, I feel genuinely bad when I don't like something in this game. I feel genuinely bad when I don't like something in any game, to be honest with you. Like, if I'm talking about it, I don't get a particular thrill out of being like, screw all this, I'm out, you know, blah, blah, blah. Enter the city stables. I think it's going to be a building, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I don't particularly I don't feel great when I'm not enjoying it. It's way more fun to stable smells of hay and manure, and men speak in low, worried voices. It's much more fun to just blather on and on when I'm loving it.
It's hopeless to think that Theoden and his riders will come.
Oh, maybe that's what we were supposed to try and get word to Theoden. Okay. You desire a rested horse to seek for aid from Rohan? What good will that do? Eragon left on that errand some time ago and should have returned by now. It's hopeless to think that Theoden and his riders will come. Even if they do, what good is it? What does it matter? I've heard that the enemy commanders cannot be held by death. You look at Lobordil quizzically, and his face twists with despair. It is true. Some soldiers from Blackroot Vale told me that one of the wraiths leading the armies of Mordor, Gothmog, cannot be slain, not while some ranger still lives. Golodir, I think his name was. You do not believe me? Ask them yourself. You'll find them to the rear of the stables, up the stairs, and in the back. Lobordil studies your face closely, surely seeing the anger upon it. Gwylin and Darafin were supposed to keep what they knew about Gothmog to themselves. Ooh, I think I was going to say they fell in the battle, but they didn't because it was all a dream. So, might still be worth telling them, hey, you need to shut the F up. Okay, so I got to talk to those guys on the second level of the stables. Dudes.
You are angry with us. I see it on your face.
Battle approaches. Are you ready for as much glory as we can attain before the end? But you're angry with us. I see it on your face. Why is this so? You remind the impulsive brothers from the Blackroot Vale that they promised to keep the secret knowledge they gained of Gothmog and Osgiliath. Darafin makes a rude noise, and Gwylin shakes his head at you with a frown. That was before we returned to Minas Tirith and spent time with its defenders. These men deserve to know the enemy they face, do they not? It's one thing to fight when you believe you have a chance at victory. It's quite another when you fight a hopeless battle against an enemy that cannot be slain. There is more glory to fight in that case, armed with the knowledge that you cannot win, and we thought these men deserved to have that knowledge and decide for themselves. You must see it. For my part, I do not regret my words, and I know my brother feels the same. If the men curse the name of a faraway ranger and use that anger to fight with more ferocity, is that not a benefit for the defenders of Gondor? The damage is done, but some of the worried men might still be encouraged. You know, I gotta tell you, like, again, we've talked about this before in different ways, maybe in different streams, but the idea that, like, when you have an antagonist, they have to believe they're right. You know, I think I talked about, like, Aaron Sorkin, like, you know, they have to be able to make their case in front of St. Peter at the pearly gates about why they did what they did, believing that it was going to get them into heaven. Like, a lot of times people who do, quote unquote, the wrong thing don't think they're a bad person. And so your antagonist shouldn't either. So I appreciate that they had a good reason for what they did, even though I'm sitting there going like, man, you're going to screw the whole thing up and I should be angry with them. And then they're like, no, we had a good reason. And also I don't regret it. So maybe you might be wrong for thinking otherwise. Oh, he heeds you not. There can be no victory here. Like, I get what my point is, that we need these guys in top form for the fight ahead. At the same time, they're like, yeah, no, you got to be honest with these people. Nope. Another no. Nobody. Okay. Because I'm not wrong either. Like, you know, there's always a chance. Maybe we just don't know what it is yet, but you gotta keep going so that you can, you know, maybe the idea hasn't come to us yet, but doesn't mean it might not.
I am sorry to see you so upset, my friend.
I apologize for that at any rate, but I still believe my brother and I have done right by these soldiers. Would you have thrown their lives away in a hopeless cause? Would you have them throw their lives away in a hopeless cause? Is it not wrong to send them against Gothmog without telling them that he cannot be slain? I hold that it is. But I know too that the men of Gondor are made of stern stuff, and many of these soldiers will fight him even so before the end. They despair now, but when he comes to the city, they will still defy him, and our hearts will be free of guilt. For we told them what we knew, and in that hour there will be glory and honor for all. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. And that's the other thing, right? Like, I'm like, oh, they're freaking out. Like, yeah, dude, because you just told them. They've had 8 seconds to react. Give them time. Let it sink in. So again, yeah, nobody's necessarily wrong in that case.
I understand now why you were so cross with me.
I saw you speaking with the soldiers, and I understand now why you were so cross with me and the brothers from Blackroot. I will not quail for my duty, and I will not allow others to do so. I will fetch you a rested horse. When you return, if there is a white city to come back to, may you hear the tales of our heroic stand, though we all become dust. All right, now I need morale, agility, or might. I'll take might. I think that's what I was doing last time. I can't remember.
Here is the horse. Ride swift and sure.
Before we do that, let's get our character up. Let me get those new boots on, see if I can slot anything. Do a little virtue XP. There's the boots. And because I think for the other things, I had sort of gotten a full set of... I just need to remember where my things are. Try a major essence of vitality. Trying to remember how to do this. Because I remember, the thing I remember is that I had to get it out of my I had to get it out of I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I remember I had to get it out of this into my bag, and then I was able to do it. I don't remember. You know, let's just accept. What I do remember is that I found all this. I remember I found all of it a little confusing, and not just dealing with this bag, but the whole thing of getting slotted into the armor. All right, so where are we? Talathanor. Have I been here before? I feel like I have. Grithost sounds familiar. And of course, I've been here before because I've got a whole bunch of quests left over. Travel north into Talathanor in search of help. So it says I'm where I'm supposed to be. You leap from the back of your borrowed horse at the sight before you.
Are you from the city?
The man coughs wetly and blood courses from his wounds. He will not live long. You must know. This is Hirgon, errand rider of Gondor. He returned from Rohan bearing news of Theoden. He will come. He will come to the city. The wall was held against us, so we turned away, but the orcs caught up with us. They took its head. They would have had mine, but their leader urged them back to the wall. But listen to my last words. A great camp of foes lies between Theoden and the city. They cannot pass that way. They must find another. Endathal speaks the truth. Theoden cannot come by the road. Cross the bridge into... Okay. Tuar Durardin, northwest of Hirgon's body. All right. should enter the wood to the southwest if you were to find Theoden. Now, this one area, I don't know if I have in. So I have a bunch of side quests, but I'm a little hesitant to get too deep into them because I'm already outpacing is a strong word, but usually my problem is that strange tracks on the dirt floor of the woods bear further inspection. Usually I'm like, oh crap, I'm short a level or something, but right now I'm doing okay. You've never seen tracks such as these before. Some figure walked here on 2 legs, but the grooves on either side cannot be explained. As you study the tracks and they continue to the southwest, you hear the distant sound of drums emanating from deeper in the woods. The track continues to the southwest towards the distant drums. Now, again, I don't know if something's up with these areas or if something's getting weird with my machine, but yeah, I'm getting like frame rates roughly half of what I usually got. Huh. Now, I will say, it's a phrase I often use at the time it's recording. The time it's recording, it is March 10th. March 10th. So you're going to be seeing this probably in April at some point. So there's going to be a gap. At the time of recording, Crimson Desert's about to come out. And I was going to give it a shot. And I switched from studio drivers on my GeForce card to the game drivers. Now, I don't know if that would be the reason why this would happen. I switched to the, I do editing, obviously, on my computer, but I don't. You found more strange tracks and they bear further inspection. As I've started doing some work again, I realize I'm not going to be needing my personal computer editing setup. So it's not so important that I can play around a little bit more. It's not so reliant on my personal hardware. So I'm happy for that. And it means I was like, oh, let me switch back to the game drivers and see if that makes any difference when Crimson Desert comes out. And it comes out on the 19th. Whoop, here we go. Signature, I gotta be careful. I still got the interrupt off, nice. Slow roll, can I get the boot off? Nice. Switch to healing because, again, it's been a while since I played, and I just realized I was getting my ass kicked. Again, when I say, like, it's time is recording, it's just to give you an idea of, like, where we go. There we go. Damn, it's all screwed up. Because these are so far ahead from when we put them up on the channel. Again, I do it because they take a lot of time and it's very difficult sometimes for me to squeeze it in. So when I can do it, I do, and I try and get a bunch lined up just so my it's not literally OCD. I don't believe I literally have OCD, but those tendencies where I'm like, we must stay consistent when everybody's like, nobody cares. And I'm like, no, we must. For whatever that itch is. But what it sometimes means is that, like, because I will suddenly get busy, might mean I go 3 weeks without playing, which is what's happened in this case. Again, probably a lot of quests to kill 10 spiders and 4 of those and 9 of them. I'm going to pass by those for the time being. I am, for whatever it's worth, I'm really enjoying the look of this area. It's got I know it's just woods, but I feel like these woods don't feel like other woods I've been in. I feel like they've done a decent job of, all the... It seems dumb, but like trying to find what's the woods here. The the old forest, right? Like this old forest feels different than this. It's got a nice touch with the rock carvings, the roots coming out of the ground all over the place. Feels different to Mirkwood. Mirkwood, there was a darkness to it, so I appreciate that they're giving each a little bit of a different flavor. Again, part of what I wasn't loving about Minas Tirith is that I love getting out into the world and seeing everything, so maybe it's just partly I'm back to being happy doing that. You found even more strange tracks. Are we getting more deeds? You feel as if you're being watched. Is it by that guy? Oh, okay. I mean, yes.
Do you walk with eyes closed in forest?
I see you long time before you see me. Do you walk with eyes closed in forest? Is he a dwarf?
Why do you come to forest of wild men?
Wild men live here long time before others, our land our own. I am called Corburi Gon, son of headman Gonburi Gon. Who are you? Why do you come to forest of wild men? Okay, so we're going to get now some gloves, I think, to finish off the... Oh, no, we already got gloves. That, I'm going to go with might. I'll go with the... who knows what I'm doing.
You are no friend of Gorgun.
You introduce yourself and say where you came from. You are a friend of Stonehouse folk. Build walls long time since they see wild men. In danger now. You have welcomed the Corburi Gon for time. Oh, you have welcome from Corburi Gon for time. If you prove false, you will not live long in forest. You are no friend of Gorgun. Tell Corburi Gon now. He waits for your answer.
Wild men hate Gorgun.
You decide that the word Gorgun can only mean orc folk, and tell him that you hate Gorgun, and their presence on the road has driven you into the forest. Corburi Gon knew this. Wild men hate Gorgun. Kill Gorgun whenever come into wood. What do you seek? If it opposite Gorgun, Corburi Gon wants it done. Will help. Gorgun, I think I've mentioned an RPG, a tabletop RPG, Harnmaster, Harnworld from Columbia Games, and they don't have orcs or goblins in that game. I thought they were called Gorgun. I thought that's what they called their orcs. So I'm wondering if that's just another name pulled from Middle-earth or if it's some other connection. I don't know. He waits for you to speak again.
Wild men may know a way. Speak to Gonburi Gon.
You tell him that the Riders of Rohan have set forth from their kingdom to aid Gondor, but they will be slowed by the orcs that have blockaded the road to Minas Tirith. You're unsure if anything can be done to clear the road in time, and tell him so. Wild men may know a way, not Corburi Gon's place to say. Come to Drew Buta. Speak to Gonburi Gon. He will speak for wild men. Drew Buta, village to west, must go northwest through the rocks, across water, then back south, hidden path, look for narrow path, climbing southwest. Corburi Gon, see you at front of village. Alright. Yeah, this is interesting. I say it a million times, I don't know anything about Middle-earth. I've never encountered like the wild men kind of stuff. So this could be interesting from a lore, potential lore perspective, I guess. And again, I think it's a compliment to the game where if they're handling something in the world, I feel comfortable trusting it as a source of lore. If that makes sense. I feel like they've shown a lot of care and thoroughness in their depiction of Middle-earth that I'm willing to trust. They've done their homework on this as well. So since this is something I've literally never encountered in my limited engagement with Middle-earth material, still getting shit frame rates. Like, I'm really curious. Okay, so I'm looking at the map here. I'm starting to realize I may not be able to get across. I gotta find a way to get to this road. Do I have to go all the way down to the river or all the way? But it looks like there's, you know, if you look there, that might be like a ridge line that I can't overcome. Let me just check something really quickly. I'm going to go to my options. Did I change a setting? Or was a setting changed that I didn't realize? Okay, I've got anti-aliasing off. DirectX 11. Everything's maxed out. I've been able to max out everything. I feel like I should be able to max out everything. I gotta tell you, this overbright bloom filter. It can get pretty intense, but that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is sync to refresh rate, triple buffering. So I'm starting to wonder now, did I do something to my monitor's refresh rate? This might get a little stuttery. Let me... Display settings. Let me just double check and make sure. Yeah, for some reason the refresh rate is set to way too low. Gonna keep those changes. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. I won't worry about the other refresh rates, but let's see what that... Okay, now we're up to 90. Okay, I don't know why. Maybe, would that be a thing? Like, if you change drivers, would it change your monitor's refresh rate? Oh, maybe when I, like, uninstalled the drivers and it did a safe mode. I was doing, like, a full wipe, just to make sure. So maybe because I went into safe mode. That's much better. Okay. User error. Okay, let's Whoa. I almost feel like Mordor Warg. It's interesting starting to see the word Mordor show up. Like, it says warband, but that's by the spider's by itself. So, like, I feel like I could be interesting to give a shot. Oh, what am I doing? But, yeah, we'll let it go for now. I'll just check my other monitors to make sure all the refresh rates are okay. Now, I know when I was talking to the guy, he told me how to get there. And completely out of my mind. I'm going to stick to this path and assume... Not assume, and hope. So yeah, so like when I say, you know, it's March 10th, you know, it's a Tuesday, and you know, I'm going back to my usual MO where, you know, I get up a little early and I record in the mornings before I have to do work stuff. And so I'm back to like having to squeeze it in, you know, and so I don't want to be like, oh, I've got some in the bank, I can take a break, because I don't know when, like if, you know, a bunch of stuff starts happening and suddenly I can't play for 2 weeks, you know, that would potentially jam up a schedule. The entrance to Drew Buta is flanked by great Pukal men.
Welcome to Village of Wild Men.
Cause no harm here, you will find it place of peace. I speak to Father Gan, explore village, meet wild men, and learn our customs. I will see you here when done. Then bring to Headman. You have found the hidden woes village of Drew Buta. The village's inhabitants do not seem very concerned by your presence. Now, the woes I have heard of. And I don't know if it's through like the Middle-earth role-playing game, but I have heard of that. What we're going to do is we're going to start... I do have quests I could just hand in. That off. Basically, I'm going to uncheck. And this is another thing. I always feel guilty, like, just walking away from quests, because, like, some of these could have been really interesting. I'm going to check ones that... Because, as, you know, we've seen, there's, like, been a lot of side stories that developed that I'm glad I saw through. Here I'm just walking away from quite a lot. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving checked all the ones I could go hand in. Okay, I think I mostly got it covered, because, yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. I'm going to start taking quests here and see what they're about. Bounty, nope. Seeking hides.
I listen to the drumming.
Repeatable quest, going to skip that. Okay.
Wind through the leaves.
Now, is there a reason why I'm not using this ring before I just dump it? I think I was mostly up to date on my equipment. Now in this case, like, why did let me hold off on that. some reason, I'm wearing lesser gauntlets with more slots. I mean, I'm getting more bonuses. I'll hold off on that for now. Again, continue to not know what the point of these runes are anymore. I don't know if it still works the same way. Okay.
Footsteps in the forest.
Examine a carving to hear the history of Druidane. Okay, we came to these shores. Other left for shores far west of here. So long ago, Druidane lived on the island with men. We left the island for land one day. We came to these shores. Those left were shores far west of here. One day, Druidane crossed Wide River and settled in the shadow of this great mountain. We first settled on all sides of mountain. Druidane were first here. Other men come after many years and cut down forests. Other Druidane leave this land. My ancestors stay here. Right, some left. His ancestors stayed. So I don't know. I guess that's it. Let's see what's going on here.
By the Torgut.
Show the wozes of Drubuta your laugh. They've never heard men laugh before. Collect hides from orcs. They wind up some twine and stare at you. So I'm not sure who I'm supposed to show my laugh to.
Gorgun surrounds stone houses. No more leaving for stonehouse folk.
Stonehouse folk built walls high, built walls strong. Now Gorgoons surround walls. No more leaving for Stonehouse folk. That not wild man way. Stay hidden in wood. Gorgoon killed by arrows before see any wild man. Stonehouse folk could have learned lesson if listened. Never listen. Now trapped behind own wall. Quite sure. Okay. I think I want to go this way, then up this way. Stretches, then shifts his weight. They're making them uncomfortable.
Son of headman killed by Gorgun.
Wild men not always beat Gorgun. Son of headman killed by Gorgun. Died outside wood, brought to camp. Ba Burigan, brother of Kor Burigan. Gorgun pay when Gon decided to act. Not yet. Soon. Gorgun think they win, but Gorgun wrong. Soon we'll see. It's enough of a group to... Nope. All right. I might give up on this, on the laughter. Okay, so let me try to see where I'm going. I want to go the other direction. Is it this way? First of all, I'm just running around town like a psychopath. Second of all, I'm not really sure if I'm missing an indicator of where to try it, and I don't feel like just guessing. Wild men hear word of much from forest. Horsemen pass by, never seeing. They find Gorgun if keep going. Headman say not to interfere. Maybe will, maybe not. Wild men do as Gon say. Wise leader know when to fight, know when not to fight. Many folk could learn the difference. You search the woods of Tower Druidan for hoofprints. Okay. So white stag brings luck to the village, so I'm going to look for that. Chieftain does not seem surprised by your presence. Instead, it looks as if Gon Burigan has much on his mind. He sighs and gathers his thoughts. Okay. Gerdos balance the nature of this forest, neither friend nor foe. They exist. Eyes of Gerdos change. No more balance. Now cruel eyes. Okay, so kill 10 of them. Defeat corruptors, defeat roots. Okay, so the forest is getting corrupted. And I think this is not a surprising twist. I could see, like, hey, we're just trying to stay out of it, and eventually, like, dude, you can't stay out of it. Like, you know, it's coming for everyone. And then look around for any clues as to Shakrug's whereabouts. Yeah. So Shakrug is the leader of the orcs, and obviously he wants him dead. Talk to Kerbury Gon at the entrance to the town for the book quest. Okay, so we've picked up some stuff to do. You know what I'm going to do? Let me try something. I'm going to bop around a little bit. Hand in quests that I can sort of fast coin to.
Gondor needs your aid. These are troublesome times indeed.
Did I get the experience or no?
Gondor needs your aid.
Oh well. I thought I was going to be able to use coins to get those done, but let me just coin back to the Wildmen. Headman, see you now. Gonbury Gon has words. Oh, we're gonna. Oh my goodness. All right, that's on me. Let me use another coin.
You hate Gorgu. Prove to me, and wild men help friends.
Son Corbury Gon told of you. You say you hate Gorgun. Prove to me, and wild men will help friends. Wild men help horsemen. Little time for proving. Horsemen ride for trap. Prove quickly. Go with agility.
Help Corbury Khan, and wild men help you.
My son, Corbury Khan, not only kin. Bygbury Gon was eldest, but slain by Gorgun. Body taken to camp on road north of forest. Corbury Gon asked to recover body of brother. Gon granted request. Help with task, and Gon will offer aid to horsemen. Go now to the camp of Gorgun. Help Corbury Gon, and wild men help you. And wild men help you. Okay, yeah. All right, so where are we on the map? We're okay, we're up here. Okay. You know what? If I'm not able to... I'm just going to take them off. Central. There we go.
Many Gorgun inside.
Draw their eyes to you. Corbury Gon will slay them from hiding. They will pay for the death of wild men. They will pay for death of Bygbury Gon. You know what? I'm also gonna... Not sure which... area we're into. You know what, I'll leave the laughter up for now. Okay, so Let's see. Collect hides from orcs. And I'm drawing enemies' eyes. Okay, so I feel like I should be just attacking. A little restorative shield work before I die, because I've got status effects on me that I'm not clearing. There we go. There is a little bit of lag, as my gambit just got off kilter there, but more as I was not paying attention. Now, I'm not sure why I'm not collecting. So I'm noticing they're hitting pretty hard. Like, just did 1,600 points of damage, 1,300 points of damage. So they can hit, they can dish it out. So I got to be, I think, a little more aware of the status effects, just because they do seem to have like some pretty, I don't know, like some burst damage. They can really take their shots. I was going to say, the camp continues somewhere. I just need to get my bearings. And again, wargs also tend to be something that can do a lot of damage to me. So I gotta, even at like normal levels, I feel like, oh shit, I'm almost dead. right. Defeated wargs. I feel like I'm not getting... Okay, I've got 5 hides. I was going to say I haven't been noticing the message, but clearly it's been happening, so that's good. There are many dead orcs here. Corbury Gan has been busy. Nice. Oh, these guys are signatures, all of them? Okay, you gotta be careful then. Here to see how this goes, because there's some significant lag. Not that I'm a good player to begin with, but that's definitely gonna throw me a little off my A game. I mean, you're watching in real time, right? Like, it's not nothing. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to use the end of this guy's run here to just do a bunch of healing buffs so that when I'm done with the fight, I'm ready to go, but woof. And woof means the lag, not my eyesore of gameplay. How are we doing on... 6 out of 10 hides, okay. It is a little emasculating, like, oh, this guy's been busy. There's just orcs dead everywhere. And meanwhile, like, it's hard to kill one. Oh, the lag. Oh, shit, I'm almost dead. I don't think he needs my help. I see how to get up to that higher level. Basically, I'm trying to see if there's another place where there's not signatures. The signatures are hard. So here, like, what I'm nervous is I'm going to have to hit 2 signatures at the same time. That's... I noticed, and I think it was a short. I don't know if maybe it was a short. I thought it, because I subscribed to Aubrey, the weird one, and something popped up where she was mentioning lag. And I don't know if I've heard her mention lag before, like in the little bits that I see of her stuff. So I'm wondering, like, is it just getting to the point where, like, it can't be ignored, or do they actually talk about that stuff and I just don't watch, like, the full streams? Like, I can't be the only one going like, holy cow, this lag is really throwing me off a little bit. Take this guy on. Just don't want to have to... I guess they're spaced out enough. Maybe it wouldn't... Oh, there's normal. Okay. Again, let the bleeds do some extra work while I keep my morale up. And I said it before, now that like they've done the 4K, so they've started working on the 4K stuff, it gives me hope that they are going to start looking at other stuff. It's not, I like the 4K stuff. But what it really, it shows that they're here to, work on the baseline stuff as needed. It's not just like we need to get the content out because that's the income revenue, blah, blah, blah. We do still care about how things work under the hood. And again, I've seen rumors on Reddit or whatever, not that those are to be believed in any way, but like some people have said on the interwebs that the lag may not be something that's fixable. I don't know why they stated that. Okay, so I'm leaving where I need to go. So I need to get back into camp and then start working my way north, I think. I don't know what that's based on, but interesting if true. As the world's premier shitposter might say. At least we're back to normals. Here we go. Okay, so again, I need to head to the north. Because I could probably stealth past that, but looked like I didn't quite need to. Still need to take out how many wargs? 6 more. How many of these guys am I going to pull if I throw a javelin at this warg? I don't mind pulling these guys in too much because at least there's a warg to go with it. Trying to really pay attention to make sure I'm seeing the icon go up in the gambit chain before I keep going. So it's telling me something's right there. I don't see any other wargs. I don't know if it's trying to point me to the wargs themselves, but yeah, I don't see any more. I have overshot the main quest objective, so let me make my way back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... see if I can careful step my way through this little camp here. Now, you might be wondering, like, you know, don't you always watch with the... I mean, I sort of keep the gambit chain out the corner of my eye, but I don't, like, pay strict attention to it because if I'm watching that to make sure the attacks have gone off without lag, then I'm not watching, you know, status effects that are building up, or I'm not watching, do I need to interrupt, you know? So there's a couple different things on the screen I'm trying to pay attention to. And so that's part of what makes the lag, I guess, frustrating. If you're wondering, like, why it's such a big deal. Not that these games are necessarily hard to play. I think most people would agree that the wardens maybe have more going on than some classes, but maybe that's not actually true. Maybe they all have a lot going on at this point. You know, if you're at 102 for your level, probably got a lot of things you need to manage. Whatever that might be. I could imagine, like, say with a hunter, it's more about, like, you know, your mobility is important. You gotta, you know, get out of the way. You found more dead orc. Corbury Gan is further ahead to the northwest. Okay, now we're gonna go back the way we came. That's fine. You know, so if it's not that, it's, you know, it's movement. It's getting out of the way. It's keeping distance. It's like, you know, with a hunter, pinning people so that you can create space. I don't have careful step back yet. And of course, I mean, the other thing about, you know, lag is it just doesn't, it doesn't feel good, you know, because you know, like, it's not supposed to be doing that. And so it's like, again, you know, I feel genuinely bad when I complain about things in this game. Like, I want this game to be flawless because I think it's amazing.
I have found what is left.
Okay, so I don't want to travel back quite yet because I still need to defeat 2 more warg, and then I'll come back here. So let me just quickly look for that, and then I you know, again, because, you know, I was about to say I appreciate that they are putting up ways to just fast travel back and forth. Like, you know, like there's little, like, there's really good things about this game, and you know, I want it to live up to its potential. What I want is for everybody who loves Middle-earth to discover this game and have their experience be as free from obstructions, whatever they might be, as possible. Because this game deserves to be seen by every fan of Middle-earth. I mean, you're just watching in real time. Like, whole thing just... Like, I don't know if actually, like, am I going to disconnect? There we go. But that's the thing, you know, like, that was like, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds? I don't know. It felt long, I'll say that. Okay, we need 1 more warg. I know there's, is there one in there? No. I'll be curious. So again, I said it's March 10th. I don't know if it's going to last 100%. We might still have another cold snap coming, but there we go. But this week, it's truly spring. You know, spring is in the air. And so there is bird, you know, so I've got the windows You know, I don't know if I have the windows open yet. I will at some point. But there is a bird basically right above my office going apeshit over something. I don't know what. So I'm curious, like, is it loud enough to come through on the recording? There we go. Let's hand that in. Like steed experience. Like it just... I guess that's for my warhorse. It's not something I'm engaging with, so that's okay.
I thank you. I have found what is left.
All right. Let's see. Book 5, Chapter 4. Talk to Gonbury Gon. So he's at the top. So yeah, I know I feel a little guilty splashing coins around for this kind of stuff, but it's a bit of a hike to get to the other side of the village.
Wild men walk the forest with speed.
My son Corbury Gon already returned. He brings his brother to the Blood Cloak. Go to him there. Wild men mourn deeply, but not long. After you go to the Blood Cloak, wild men seek out the horsemen. We will help them. They need fear no Gorgoon. Wild men know secret way. Blood Cloak is to east, atop hill on far side of falling water. My son, Bury Gon, rest there now. I genuinely like the village, but it is a bit to navigate. Not a bit, like it's not tricky per se, at least not yet, but it's a bit of a walk. But I like its design. I like how it's sort of it's adapted to the land around it, right? It has to be. I want to get to the other side of the water. I don't know if I need to... I continue to enjoy the world building is the short version of what I'm trying to say. Now, some of these people, do they want to see me laugh like an idiot? Feels a little bit like a Seinfeld episode. What are you talking about? I got a great laugh. And then everybody's like, no, dude, you don't. And then that's the whole episode. I don't recall needing to repair drums, so... It's nice to get this out of the way, because I just completely blanked on that. Even though it's right there on my list. I like the idea of the quest to sort of get to know the culture a little bit, because again, for me, like I've said, I have no idea. I've never encountered. I think this is, yeah. So somewhere around here is where I'm trying to go. fear that I'm getting away from where I'm trying to get to. Travel to the Blood Cloak in Drubuta on a rocky cliff. Trying to figure it out. So it's telling me I'm close. Is it like up above? Like, do I need to get all the way to the top? I just haven't found the path there. What was throwing me off on the map is that this laughter one is, maybe it's just because there's a whole bunch of them right there, and maybe it is trying to tell me where to laugh. And the quest, for some reason I was thinking these red ones were the quest. But it might just be a cluster of rings that are giving it a more pronounced appearance on the map. The wind gently sighs through the branches of the Blood Cloak as you approach.
There is sorrow here. There is gladness too.
There is sorrow here. There is gladness too. Many wild men buried at base of Blood Cloak. We remember them all. We remember Bai, Buri Gan. Gan Buri Gan, grateful for what we did. Grateful as father, grateful as headman of wild men. As headman, his command is clear. Wild men will help horsemen.
Wild men go through wood by secret paths.
Wild men go through wood by secret paths. Kor Buri Gan will take you to horsemen. Go at once. Stonehouse folk, not stand long against Gorgun. All right. Just trying to lock down where I am on the... Okay, so we're way up here now, outside of Nardole. Find the entrance to the Rohirrim encampment west along the road.
You help horsemen. Wild men help also.
Horsemen camp down Stone Road ahead. Wild men count many thousand horsemen. Hopefully I'm going the right way. Is this one of those things I need to kill? Yeah, might as well while I'm here. The guard calls out to you to halt, when suddenly his face lights up with recognition. Oh, Whitfara. You're a long way from the North March, Black Lodge. I didn't know you would respond to Muster Theoden, but I should have with no question. I know the king will be glad to see you have arrived.
From the North March.
I came at the behest of Harding, though the injury I suffered at the hands of Nurzum still pains me. The Aldor gave me a new steed to replace poor Windfoot, and its gait is less gentle than that of my old friend. Still, my leg is on the mend. I could not refuse Harding's command and would not, even were both my legs wounded as the one. For now, the multitude waits for the king to decide our further course. There's some trouble in our way. While the riders wait on his command, you should speak with some of the men. I'm certain the spirits of many will be buoyed to see you again. Okay, there's a stable up here. I don't know if I've... I guess I have?
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
So there's somebody way off to the left. Let me take a look at that. I was about to say this is a pretty big camp, but at the same time, if you're dealing with like a whole army, then yeah, of course it would be.
There is much to be done.
I've not seen you since we fought together at Brockbridge. Your arrival is unexpected but most welcome. Are you aware of our current troubles? Orc spies have been spotted in the woods not far from here. They're searching for us, that's certain. I have a task for you. Defeat these spying orcs so that the Rohirrim can remain hidden. Return as soon as you can, as there is much that needs doing and I need all the help I can get.
Ah, welcome to the last journey.
Welcome to the last journey. The stone deans are behind, and Gondor lies ahead. The words of Hildegard served me as a shield in my fight with the Dunlendings, as I knew they would. The seeress spoke of my death by orcish hand. Then let me fight the Dunlending tribes from morning until night. But now that Woodhurst is reclaimed and Gifamund oversees it in my name, I will not refuse the command of my king. I march to war, and I wonder if the orc that will lay me low stands ready somewhere at the end of this road. He certainly does, but I will not let that dissuade me from facing him. I've prepared my son, Herefara, for this. If my days are soon to be ended, he knows our duty. Join us and rejoice. Glory and honor await us. Okay, so that's the book quest. So what is it? Talk to Fastrid, talk to Grimbold, talk to Elfmar. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so they're going to be throughout the rest of the camp. So let's do that. Let's make our way. Trying to figure out how I was actually supposed to get up here. I cut along hillside. Trying to see, was there a road? Or maybe not. Nope, wrong way, genius. Not quite. Okay.
There is some trouble on the road ahead.
We meet again, once more on the eve of battle. I have 10 Irids of men from the Westfold with me, and we ride with Theoden, king to the aid of Gondor. Some of these men fought with me at the fords, and still others defended the deep from Saruman's malice. They catch what rest they can before we make to move again. There is some trouble on the road ahead. I've heard scouts tell that orcs have blocked the straight way to the Pelennor. The danger does not worry me. Nay, I'm worried that dealing with this force will slow us overmuch, and by the time we reach the White City, it will be filled not with doughty men, but with ravening orcs. Time is our greatest enemy on this road, as it ever is. It's not wrong. Not wrong. And that's the thing, like, you know, I imagine like the orcs can't expect to stop an army, but if they can harry them enough to jam them up, delay. You know, it's what I was saying when we were doing Osgiliath stuff. Like, you know, if you can just do something here that makes them have to stop for 3 hours and repair, and then do something over there that stops for another 4 hours, and next thing you know, you've bought 8 hours, and maybe that's enough time for reinforcements to slip in, etc., etc. And so maybe that's part of what the orcs are intending a little bit. But again, yeah, at the risk of, you know, Minas Tirith so far has not been for me, and being out here doing this stuff is, I feel back in my element. In terms of the gameplay, you know, and it's interesting. I wonder, you know, if there's, you know, part of who I am and what I look for in games is reflected in what I picture a warden class doing. And so maybe like when I'm not sort of doing that, it throws me off a little bit.
The Elford will prove itself worthy of its reputation.
Maybe the class you choose in Lord of the Rings is like a Rorschach test. I don't know. You know, yeah, maybe it says something more about me than the game itself. But let's see. It's good to see you among the soldiers. My father and I responded to the muster of Theoden, king, with as many men as we could find. We have 8 Irids between us, a fine number. The Elford will prove itself worthy of its reputation. So I wonder if that's like a platoon or a, you know, obviously that's a measure of force, the Irids. I hope to fight alongside my shield brother Eormir in the coming engagement, but that may not come to pass. The marching order is not yet set, but when we come to Pelennor, he will likely ride with the king's men, and I will be among the Irlingas. Still, the press of battle will no doubt allow us both much chance for glory. I'm certain you will attain no small share for yourself, friend Warden.
I thought you would be somewhere in this assemblage.
My lands were well represented in the muster, and my heart soared to see the gladness in my king's eye for it. 300 and 300 valiant men of the Sootcrofts waiting his command. My son Fulcrid will weather the storm in Edoras with my mother. It was the vile Krumgam that moved her to spirit Fulcrid away from Snowborn, but now I'm glad that it was done. The Lady Eowyn will keep them safe, and my wife Elflad has gone after them to wait until the war be done. For my part, I am hoping to see Krumgam in our path on the road to Gondor. He and I have unfinished matters to which we must attend. Insults were done to me in my house, and I would have them repaid. Repaid in blood. Talk to Thrym Redbeard in the southeastern reaches of the encampment. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm curious if they're going to try and get a little extra mileage out of the Battle of Minas Tirith. Like, will there be a second instance of it? Because I'll say, in my mind, like, I've done it. So if I, like, oh, now you're going to do it again, but this time it's real. Like, that might be a little disappointing. My fear is that I'm supposed to be going up on that hill there.
We have been through much.
What adventures have brought you to join this assemblage? I have here but one Irid, but it is composed of the fiercest warriors in all of Rohan. I stake my honor upon it. We've been through much to come so to this company. We received the call to weapon take on the night of March 11th, and I began to gather what men I could. 2 Irids of Wildmoor's most skilled riders at dawn. I led these men east to the Wold, but I did not know... Okay, so let me ask a question. Oh, no. March 11th. I was going to say, because it's... I said it's March 10th, so sometimes I wonder if, like, the game is pulling some... But obviously, it wouldn't have been, like, a year ago. But March 11th, one of my oldest friends, happy birthday. But that is tomorrow. Let's see. I led these men east to the Wold, but I did not know that danger was so near, under cover of darkness. Orcs and Easterlings had crossed the river at the Undeeps. They overwhelmed the watchers of the Stand Guard and crossed into the Wold. The enemy assailed Harwick, but Aldor Harding had already gone to the weapon take. His son Leodvig remained in the city and saw that all would soon be lost. That is when my Irids charged right into the flank of the enemy. Our fortunes did not hold, and we were soon routed. The city was now afire. Leodvig rode forth and fought valiantly, but he was grievously wounded. He withdrew to a defensible position on the hilltop. It was to be the location of our last stand. Early in the morning on March 12th, as the enemy prepared to climb the hill and put an end to us, one of our scouts reported hearing a sighing sound in the wind. It was a rushing of branches, thousands of them, and it rushed down from Wildermoor in the great flood of sound. Behind this great sound came trees, dozens of trees in every variety, and among them strode great shepherds. At first I thought these were devils of Nurzum's kind, but it was not so. They were led by a strange fellow by the name of Leaflock, and he spoke in halting fashion of many unfathomable mysteries, some of which I still have not unraveled. There will be time for determining their meaning behind his words later if we survive the war ahead. He did not consider himself or his people warriors, but I can tell you they became terror on the battlefield. The enemy will not come back to the Wold. There was only one Irid left to me after the battle. We rode with haste to the Entwade and changed horses. We passed Aldburg at dusk, but did not stop. Upon reaching Beacon Watch, we had to stop and rest, and learned there that Theoden camped in the Firian woods the night before. At dawn on the 13th, with our horses refreshed, we crossed the Mering stream and rode hard through the Beacon Hills. We were so close, but not yet close enough. We were beset by orcs and variegs near Amon Din. We broke through the line of variegs, but they did not pursue us. I think now I know the reason. They knew the road ahead would be held against us. In the darkness of night, we came to the western flank of the encampment in the Druidan, and were nearly turned into pincushions by Grimbold's sentries. At the last moment, one of his archers recognized me by the specter of my beard, crimson in the guttering light of the single torch they allowed. Can you imagine what Cinneberg would say if this great tale of mine, of riding more than 500 miles in 3 days to the aid of my king, ended with me and my men put in the ground by our own sworn brothers? I can imagine what she would say, and it makes my head hurt more than any of Nerzum's tantrums. That's the tale. We've ridden hard and through battle to stand with Theoden King, onward to triumph and glory. I've spoken already with Harding and given him news of his son, but you should speak to him also. He's in the northeastern reaches of the encampment. Alright, so where are we going? Still a little bit, one more, I think, to the northeast. There we go. Alright. Nope. Oh, that's good enough. Now, I'm curious, like, is it north and to the east around this hill, or was there more of a straight shot? Let's try this. Maybe it's up that level there. It's kind of interesting. You know, the camp is basically this whole chunk here, which, again, as we were saying, like, if you're moving an army, it's logical that I would take up some space. Huh, now I'm getting those frame rate. Let me just check again. It's gonna hitch for a second. Just want to double check. No, that's not it. Okay, I was just making sure, like, the frame rates, are they weird because of refresh issue? But again, no, the refresh rate, it's good. It's in that lower camp. Is there something else running on my computer? No, I'm not, like, crunching a video for export in the background.
You have joined the Riders well, I see.
Should we get to Minas Tirith in time, there will be quite a battle, but it is not certain we will do so, for there is some trouble ahead in the road. You tell Harding that you spoke with Thrym about his journey from Wildermoor. They must have heard that my son Leodvig led the defense of Harwick against the creeping orcs and Easterlings. My heart swelled to hear the Redbeard speak of my son's charge from the city. He will bear his wounds proudly, and if my own road is to end in the battles to come, I will know that the Wald is in capable hands. I did not think my boy would have the ability to lead men in battle. Indeed, I sent him to investigate Wildermoor in part because I thought he could not handle the dangers pressing from the east. But I'm pleased to have been wrong. Sons have a way of growing up and becoming men, I suppose. Speak to Ingbert of Entwash Vale. If you doubt me, he told me that his own son, Horn, has experienced a similar transformation. Ingbert's tents are to the west of here. Alright. It's not that interesting a story, maybe I've mentioned it before, but I do remember one time, you know, to that effect where, like, you know, sons have a way of growing up into men. I was out of college. I have a, you know, I'm the eldest. You know, there's two kids, I'm the eldest, and pretty close in age, but I was coming back for my siblings' college graduation, and I was, you know, sitting with my mom and dad. You know, I wasn't living at home. I had sort of graduated from college, and I'd moved to Nashville, actually. And, okay, now I want to get up to that hilltop. Moved to Nashville, and so, you know, I got out of college and just sort of kept going in a way. And, yeah, so, you know, I had my little, like, blazer and shirt and tie and pants, and I remember my dad, I don't know what I was doing, but my dad was maybe off to the side of the, he was a heavy smoker. So he might have, that part of the camp? So he might have been off, you know, a distance to not bother anybody with the cigarette smoke. But, and he did sort of have a moment where he came back and he was like, you know, I was just sort of realizing, you know, you're grown up now. And I was, you know, I didn't think anything of it because, you know, I'm just still me. But, you know, I wasn't thinking of myself as grown up or not grown up or anything. But I guess because I was just there like a college graduate dressed like an adult. He was like, it just sort of dawned on me that now you're a man now.
My son Horn has come to his senses at last.
There's a familiar face, though it was long ago and many miles from here when last I saw it. Black Lodge, the Warden. I'm delighted to tell you that my son Horn has come to his senses at last. He has had a welcome change of heart and ridden with the company as he should. And most welcome of all, he has left his wild woman behind. Earrings. Okay, so we've got chunk of maximum morale. Same maximum morale. So do we want will, might, agility? I'll take might. I know I've been sort of oscillating back and forth between the two, pretending there's some consistency in my choice.
Finally, my son will prove he is a man of Rohan.
Nay, it is true. My son has finally shown some sense and has chosen to leave the foolish loves of his youth behind him. He will do his duty as I, his father, command, and as his king requires. War is calling, and finally my son will prove he is a man of Rohan and worthy of my bloodline. Would that he had realized it sooner. I might have been spared much frustrations. You do not believe that Horn has so chosen? Ask him yourself. You'll see. Alright. What it means to fight. Here's Horn, sort of standing off to the side, maybe a little pensive moments going on here. I was half expecting voiceover, so that's why I didn't. The accursed darkness has cast a pall upon my hard black lodge, but it has brightened somewhat to see you again. Much has happened since we parted. Is Corodan with you? Call him over and I will tell you my tale, for he should hear of it as well. You tell Horn that you were separated from Corodan before the forces of Saruman fell upon Helm's Deep, and were unable to find the elf after the fighting ended. Horn's silent for a time, and then shakes his head. I'm sure he's fine, wherever he's gone. I do not believe he would fall prey to Saruman's evil so easily, or so quietly. That there is no trace of him should lighten our worry, not increase it. It seems to your ear that Horn is trying to convince himself more than you, but you do not press the issue. He is silent again for a long moment. When he finally speaks, his voice is full of sorrow. Nona and I did not find the Falcon clan raiding party. Indeed, I think now that she did not really intend to search for Lew Brennan at all. Her plan was in service of a ruse. I blame her not for it now, but I confess that when the shape of her mind became clear, I spoke harshly. She wanted to get me alone to tell me to abandon Rohan. She wanted us to find a place where we might live free from the demands of kings and wizards. If the forces of evil triumph, let us face them together, not for kingdom or for bloodlines, but for ourselves, she said. But I would not listen. I was angry to be made to choose in this fashion. I told her that I did not always know what it meant to be a man of Rohan, but our adventures together taught me much on the matters, and I wanted to serve my king as I should. There were more words, and they were hurtful. I made to leave, and Nona told me that if I rode to war with Theoden, I would die before the walls of the White City. How can you know this? I asked her, but before she answered, I knew the answer. Hildegard the soothsayer spoke to Nona of my death. Nona believed it, though I do not. That was not her final attack, and this last strike was to be the most deadly, though it also proved decisive in the matter. Nona said to me that she was with child. Hildegard had told her this, but Nona did not need the words of the soothsayer to believe it. I believed it too. Ooh. Okay, so that does add something to it. You're going to be a father, she's going to be a mother. You've got these seismic shifts in priorities that suddenly weigh on you. The air was still and cold, and the silence stretched between us. I was torn between two duties, service to the woman of my heart and the child our love would bring forth, and to Theoden, the king of my homeland. And that is when I realized that they were not different at all. If Rohan is consumed by war and falls to the enemy's hordes, it will not matter where Nona and I and our child might prepare for our last stand. We'll be alone. Together, but alone, and the enemy will have us. But if Theoden defies the forces of Mordor and finds victory, then there might be peace. Only then will there be safety for the woman I love and for the child our love is bringing forth. Only then. She thinks I chose to ride to Theoden to seek glory or for honor, but neither of those are the reasons. I ride for Rohan, for my Dunlending wife, and for my Dunlending child, that they may be safe from the evils of Mordor. It was the most difficult decision I've ever made, and it may have been the wrong one, but I still have made it. It was the only thing I could have done, and if it's wrong and Hildegard is right, and I ride to my death in Gondor far from those I love, well, you have my permission to tell my old music master Gleowine that he was right after all. You look at Horn quizzically. Oh, Gleowine and I have been having a disagreement about what it means to fight. Don't tell him this, but I think I have been arguing mostly to convince myself rather than him. I've cut a most impressive figure doing so, I think. The very picture of a valiant man of Rohan. I seem to have convinced my father at any rate. Find Gleowine if you would like to hear his side of the argument. It's good to see you. I wish that we had met again in happier circumstances, but there are few enough of those in these dark days. Stay well, my friend. All right. Yeah, again, it's sort of like a running theme that we've talked about here. As a citizen of Middle-earth, you can't escape what's coming. And then on some level, do you have a duty to do your part? If you're in World War II, the call comes because the Axis forces have perpetuated war. On the flip side, if you're the side perpetuating the war, I don't know. That feels like a different moral obligation. Okay, here's Gleowine.
I bid you welcome. Have you seen Horn?
My former student is a knot of confusions, and speaking with you might help unravel him. You tell Gleowine that you found Horn in the state he describes, but are unsure if your words provided him any comfort. Well, I'm glad you tried. I think he's being foolish, and have told him so, but he refuses to listen to me. He thinks he's doing the right thing, but I can tell you that Nona does not agree, and I do not either. What good will it do her and the child on its way if Horn dies now? Little or none. Glory and honor? There will be of little consolation and no comfort to the family he leaves behind. I'm no warrior. I record what befalls the warriors in song, and I know all too well what that means. I dress it up in nice clothes with pretty words, but still I know it for what it is. Death. And death. And death. Horn is full of pride like his father Ingbert and will not be persuaded. He's a man of Rohan for certain, stubborn and hard-headed, thinking always of duty and honor and service. May it not be the death of him. You think that Gleowine may have been blinded to the truth of the matter by Horn's blustery words of justification, but you do not correct him. Elfhelm, standing nearby, catches your eye and your attention.
Duty is not always easy.
It's not always an easy thing to decide what duty compels us to do. I know of someone who might have something to add to the debate. Look for him just to the west if you can control your tongue and keep a confidence. All right. Oh. Meriadoc. Brandybuck. Incognito marching? Maybe not so much incognito.
Hello there. At last someone will speak to me.
I've only had Durnhelm here for company, and he speaks very little. It's almost as if none of the men here can see me. I'm almost certainly not supposed to be here. I hope that Theoden will not be cross with me when he finds out. Right, because that's the thing, right? Like, he sort of snuck in. But what was I supposed to do? I could not stay behind while all the others have gone off to danger. That has been this hobbit's story almost from the beginning. Frodo and Sam and Pip all gone off now, braving danger in strange lands. I could not let it happen again. I'm grateful that Durnhelm saw it fit to help me come along. He has an understanding with Elfhelm, I think. The old marshal is turning a blind eye to my presence here, and I'm glad of it. I just hope I'm not too much of a burden, on the road or in battle that is certain to come. Alright, again we've got agility or might.
I am sick of waiting around.
I'm sick of waiting around. Let's see if we can get a look at what Theoden is doing. I will use my natural sneakiness to remain out of sight, but I cannot bear not knowing what is going on. The king is meeting with his advisors in a clearing to the southwest. It's not that far. All right. Find the clearing where Theoden meets with his advisors. As you approach, you see that Theoden speaks with Gondor. I never know if I should leave the names on or off. Like, they're take up a lot of screen real estate. Maybe it's a little distracting in a narrative moment, but then also reminds me who is who. Let's talk to Theoden. It's saying talk to Theoden first, but we could talk to Éomer.
I thank you for sending to us these woses, these wild men.
I understand we have you to thank for sending us these woses, these wild men. Their hatred of orcs is similar to our own and quite useful in this case, for the orcs have made camp in the shadow of Emon Din and block our road. Okay, so this is the thing I've been wondering the whole time. My 6,000 spears could scatter the orc barricades, but it would take time and that... Okay, so that's the simple explanation. It's not that we can't do it. It's not that they would, actively succeed in resisting. It's more that they would just harry our movements and... Okay. Gondor says there is a fire on the plain before Minas Tirith and within the walls. The defenders will not last if we do not come soon. Gondor says he knows a secret way around the orc camp. He says he can show us a forgotten road that will get us near the city without delay. We must take this road. All right, let's see what Éomer has to say.
These wild men have offered their aid to us.
All right, my uncle has spoken with the leader of these woses, these wild men, and has accepted their aid. Gondor speaks of a secret way that will allow us to skirt the orcs blocking the road beneath Emon Din. He's staked his life upon it, but he will walk beside Theoden on this secret way. If he proves false, I'm to kill him where he stands. If this is a trick, I will slay him without hesitation. Yeah, all right. What Gondor has to say.
Secret ways, Rook. You have clear.
All right, Gondor makes promise to you. Now, Gon, fulfill it. Wild men will help horsemen. Stonehouse folk, once very strong, carved stones from hills, carried stones on large wains, built stone houses on side of mountain. Roads still there, but Stonehouse folk forget. Wild men not forget. That's interesting, the idea like they're, he's obviously not a native West. I don't even know what the common language of Middle Earth is called. I'm sure once I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, but clearly, he's speaking in broken phrasings, but then somehow still knows the word wains, which is not the most common. Anyway. Horsemen pass through Stone Wain Valley, or maybe that's because it's called Stone Wain Valley, I guess. Entrance is northeast of Drew Buta, far south of here. Way is rocky, clear stones from path to make safe for horsemen passage. Then horsemen and Black Lodge fight Gorgoon in front of the Great Stone City. Wild men live in peace. Okay, so clear the fallen stones near the northern entrance to Stonewall Valley. So we are looking at this quest, and I don't know if I see it. There it is. Okay, so it's down here. And I don't know. So looking at the map, you can sort of see there's a road that cuts through here. And that's really the only... So I'm wondering, you might be able to, pick your way through, but there is, a pretty hard ridge line or something right there that we've been running into. So I'm going to head west to this horse, and maybe there's a stable that will get me... I don't even know. Let's give it a shot, though. You know, as much as I was belly aching about not loving the Minas Tirith stuff yet, I will be curious how it pays off. You know, I didn't love it in the moment, but I should give them the benefit of the doubt of, like, maybe it's setting something up, or...
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Okay, so where is Ostriman? Might not be... Yeah, okay, so I think we're sort of on our own for getting through this passage. So let's hop back on our horse. Take off. Yeah, I don't know what it is. For some reason, this session, like at this moment, getting like frame rates in the 30s, but it's not, you know, it's not like last time where it was because of like refresh rates or anything. For some reason, I'm just not getting... And it's unique to this game because very, very recently I was playing, you know, Elden Ring 4K maxed out, rock steady, 60 frames a second. So it's not that, Am I heading the wrong way? I am. Damn it. Sorry about that. I was so busy looking at the frame rate counter, I wasn't paying attention. Because, yeah, I don't quite understand. What's going on in this case? So, yeah, it just dipped into the 20s. Like, that wasn't doing it a little while ago. And apologize. Like, it's a little early. I haven't quite had all my caffeine. That's why I'm, like, a little scatterbrained. Well, once we get out of the forest, let's see what the frame rates do. This looks right. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's just that area. Maybe there's something... Oh, no, now it's back into the 20s, 36. Okay. I was going to say it creeped up into the 70s. Now it's in the 80s, 90s. So I wonder if there's a, like, a Dragon's Dogma thing going on. Or Dragon's Dogma 2, I should say. Like, Dragon's Dogma 2 had real performance issues when it came out. I don't know if they've fixed it, because there was a lot of... like NPC AI crunching, like bottlenecking the CPU, I think. I think it was actually CPU related instead of so much being... I mean, the game was like a GPU hog as well in a sense, but I think a lot of the issues were coming from CPU issues. And so I think one of the fixes at one point was like, they might have made like the spawning in distance for NPCs way shorter, almost like comically so. But I was just curious because, like, Minas Tirith is one that has a lot of problems. There's a lot of, like, quote-unquote, like, movement NPC stuff going on. Have I been here? And I don't think there's a stable master. I'm not seeing one on the map. can't 100% tell if this is familiar. Maybe not. And then, of course, the camp had some issues where, again, there's a lot of, like, NPC behavior going on. All right. Here's a question. Can I skirt the outside of this? All right, let's get in the water. Not that I probably couldn't have fought through, but if, I feel like sort of thematically, role-playing wise, it makes sense. Like I would, you know, treat that as like a enemy stronghold that I'm looking to avoid as I do my kind of secretive behind-the-scenes mission. Okay, so my gut is that I want to, like, you see they get pretty close here by taking the, but I think I'm going to go to the far road and double back, and I think hopefully that's the more direct-ish route. I get worried, you know, when there's elevation heights changes like this where I think I'll be close, but what I'm actually is I'm on the wrong side of a impassable hilltop or peak or something. Also, again, I don't know how much of this area I've actually been to. I mean, I've obviously been here because these are like the quests I had earlier about like laughing people, stuff like that. But now I'm a little nervous that I just went to the wrong place. Okay, yeah, it's back at the bottom of the hill. Okay, you clear the path, making it safe for horses to pass. Okay, now it's saying talk to Éomer at the southern end of Stonewain Valley.
Khanburi Khan has proven trustworthy.
We are fortunate he came to our aid. We may have come here just in time. Minas Tirith is not yet taken.
Ready your steed, my friend.
Mount your traveling steed and speak to Éomer to join the Rohirrim for the final leg of their journey. Alright, let's see. Okay. Does it tell us where we're going? Oh, maybe not.
Let us ride to the encircling wall. 6,000 spears have come to Gondor at her darkest hour. It will become the hour of Theoden and of Rohan.
Alright, my fear is that they want a war steed, but okay. The men have passed ahead through the gap in the wall. Let us join the line and prepare for the glorious battle to come.
We must join the line.
Theoden King awaits.
Guthlaf!
Yes, my lord.
I have need of your horn, loyal Guthlaf. Arise! Arise, Riders of Theoden! deeds awake. Fire and slaughter. Spear shall be shaken. Shield shall be splintered. A sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises. Ride now, ride now, ride to Gondor.
For Theolingus!
All right, the day will live long in the hearts of my people. This is a day for deeds of honor and glory for... All right. Choose one. Oh, leveled up. Let's celebrate spring in the middle of the battle. All right. Well, interestingly enough, that is the end of Book 5. Huh. That's a hell of a place to end it, huh? Let's decline celebrating spring. Let's look at our loot. It's almost as if there's nothing going on in the background, just sort of the naked gun, there's nothing to see here, pay no attention. Yeah, what do we got? Level 2. Let's bump that up. Let's, we had some earrings, I remember. That was one thing. It's a chest plate, yeah. What I probably should do is before I pick this up next time, I should, relearn how to add stuff to the armor pieces so that they are not wanting as I go into the battle here. Which I cannot remember, like, the planes that they ride on. I cannot remember the name of it. I'm not seeing the earrings, though. These gloves, are they also... Yep, that's new. It's crazy, for all the, the 4K enhancements, it's still not quite enough for my eyes to just instantly pick them out of the lineup. Let me sort and see what happens. In my head, they should be sort of highlighted like that. Because I don't think I've really opened my inventory since I've gotten them, and I just don't see them. Huh. Well, anyway. It's not that important. There we go. So which ones are we going to lose? So the City Defender earrings are sort of similar. The new one's better, and if I can figure out how to get those essences on there. So I might do that. I might take the battle-tested earrings, replace the City Defender's earrings, and then see if I can figure out for next time how to get stuff on there. So I'm up to 2,900 morale. Anyway, see the guy go flying. That's an impressive spectacle. So, about 8 minutes ago, I was saying, I'm curious to see how they'll pay this off. If they do the Minas Tirith the way they did, and maybe I shouldn't. If the way they do that, if they sort of have that, it was all a dream to at least let us experience Minas Tirith from the inside, so that we can then experience the Ride of the Rohirrim on the other side, that makes sense. I still didn't love my time in the Minas Tirith, but it's nice that they figured out a narrative way to let you see both, even though they're on opposite sides of the wall, so to speak. I wish that Minas Tirith had sort of a narrative-driven one like Helm's Deep. I've said that already. If they had, I would have probably been blown away, like I kind of was at Helm's Deep. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing what this is like next time. So, man, look at that. Well, I'm just sort of taking it all in. It's such a spectacle. Will there be a moment where they sort of reform, like the line, and plow through somebody at some point? I don't know. Anyway, so that'll be next time, though. Yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm Arth. This is Black Lodge Trivia Night. We are a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. We appreciate everybody who's checked this out. If you're watching this, you've seen, found our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, click the notification bell if that's your thing. If you prefer audio versions of our actual plays or our RPG discussion topic podcasts, or the occasional time we talk about Souls, search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your audio, and we should show up. Otherwise, again, thank you for checking this out. Looking forward to seeing where this goes. Yeah, take care.